Hi, my name is Ben. I'm a co-founder and the CTO of Mastery Portfolio. This video is a prelude in a series of videos that will help you set up your account at themasterybook.com and identify pedagogy and teaching practices that will help increase student engagement and develop more meaningful reports on student learning and assessment. I call this video a prelude because the only objective of this video is going through the process of setting up your account. We won't be talking about any pedagogy in this video, but I'll show you what it looks like to set up an account, and I'll explain how we use the information to help you. If you've already set up your account and are able to log in, you might be able to skip to the next video in this series. But if you haven't logged in yet, then you've come to the right place. Let's take a look at themasterybook.com. If you've never logged into the MasteryBook before, when you first arrive on the landing page, you're going to have two options for creating an account. The first option is to log in straight away using Google, and that's perfect if you have a Google email address. If you don't have a Google email address, or you just prefer to use another email, like perhaps a school email, you can create your own account using this link here, create an account. That's what I'm going to do in this tutorial. On this screen, all you have to do is enter a valid email address and password. If you're following along, you can go ahead and do that right now. I'll move ahead and show you what happens after you click Done. After you've added your email address and a password, you'll be redirected to the landing page again with this notification that you need to verify your email address before you can log in. You can click this link if you're unable to find the verification email. Be sure to check your spam folder. The verification email looks something like this. So you just have to open it in the same device that you used for creating your account. So I'll click that. It'll say I can now log in. And then you might need to reload this page after verifying. So I'll do that right now. The very first time you log in, there's a form that you'll fill out with some information about your school, and you'll also be invited to meet with us. So if you click on this link, that'll just go to our Calendly. I would encourage you to utilize that opportunity if you have additional questions or if you'd like help onboarding your entire school. So I'll go ahead and move forward with the account registration. I'm going to fill in my first and last name. Now this piece at the bottom has two options. Either you have an access code or you're creating a new school. If you have an access code, this would be the process that you would go through to invite other users to join a school that you've already created. So if you are making a brand new school, once you add new members to that school, there's no need for the other members of the school to create the school again. You can give them an access code, and if they have an access code, they would paste it in here. As it is, we're setting up a new school, so we're going to go with the second option. Now, if you are a public school, you can look up the school using the zip code, but in this case, I'm using a fictional school, so I'm just going to use other, and then be sure to specify how many students are at your school. That provides us with data about how the account is being used. So in this example, I'll say between 400 and 1,000, and then agree to the terms of service. So once the form is filled out, you can click Done. And there's a little bit more here about your profile. Now, the first question, would you like your account set up with sample data? If you click yes, it's just going to fill out a sample semester with a classroom and some standards, some assignments, all entered in. But for this tutorial, I'm going to be doing the setup from scratch. So I'm going to click no thanks, but if this is something that you would like to do, go ahead and press yes. That's perfectly compatible with the steps in the tutorial. When you select this option, you're going to be prompted to supply a name for your first semester or term. Another way of thinking about this is the name of the academic year. It's the way that you'll organize different classes and schedules from one year to the next. So a great name for it is 2022 to 23. And then the role. You can fill out these questions about your experience and how many teachers at your school use standards-based grading. So this is a question that we ask because oftentimes there are pilot teams that begin with standards-based grading before it goes school-wide. So if your entire school is doing it, or if you have more than 10 teachers in your pilot, you can select that. This question, are you interested in free professional learning on implementing standards-based grading? This is just a question we ask to know who's interested in receiving notifications. So if you're interested, go ahead and say that you are. And then lastly, how did you hear about Mastery Portfolio? So you can select a choice on there. And then lastly, there is one more option if you'd like to submit your mobile number. You can do that to receive texts instead of emails. And when you've answered the questions, click Finish Setup. Now, as it sets up the school, this can take a little bit of time, so be patient as that little spinner was rotating. But after the school has been set up, you'll automatically be logged in. Now, immediately you're going to get this notification that says you have no classes. Change the term. We can select 2022 to 23. And now the term is selected, but there are still no classes. So we will just close the window. And this is the MasteryBook. At this point, we have completed the objectives for this tutorial. We were able to create an account, and I opted to create an account from scratch. So I had to specify the term for the very first term. Moving forward, if you go on to the next video in this series, we're going to look at the Manage tab and take a look at all of the steps involved in setting up the account for students and then creating standards and inputs in order to plan how you're going to assess students using standards-based grading. So go ahead and check that out now.